Once upon a chilling evening in the mysterious town of Shadowville, there was a terrifying day known as Shadow Day. It happened only once a year when shadows rebelled against their humans, refusing to follow their every move. Instead, they roamed freely, with sinister motives in mind. The townspeople dreaded this day, for it was a day filled with fear and uncertainty. In Shadowville, there lived a timid boy named Jake. Jake was an ordinary 13-year-old who loved playing video games and reading spooky stories. He had heard whispers about the dreaded Shadow Day, but never imagined he would experience it firsthand. As the sun began to set on the eve of Shadow Day, darkness cloaked the town. Jake's shadow, which he called Shade, seemed more restless than usual. It danced and twisted on the walls, casting eerie shapes that sent shivers down Jake's spine. "What's gotten into you, Shade?" Jake asked, his voice trembling. As midnight struck, the nightmare began. Shadows slithered from every corner, separating themselves from their human counterparts. The air turned cold, and the moon's pale light highlighted their eerie forms. The once familiar shadows now took on malevolent shapes, their glowing eyes filled with a mischievous gleam. Panicking, Jake rushed to find his parents. "Mom! Dad!" he called out, his voice quivering with fear. But his pleas fell on deaf ears as his parents' shadows ignored him, instead lurking in the corners, whispering with an otherworldly hush. The shadows had minds of their own, and wicked intentions in their hearts. Terrified and alone, Jake stumbled upon a group of his friends in the town square. "Guys, we have to stick together. It's Shadow Day," he cried out, his voice barely above a whisper. Emma, his best friend, nodded, her face pale with fear. "We need to find a way to survive this night," she said, her voice determined. As the group huddled close, the shadows encircled them, creeping closer with each passing moment. "We have to stay in the light," whispered Alex, another friend, pointing at the flickering lamppost nearby. They clung to the dwindling light, their hearts pounding with every inch the shadows advanced. The shadows, growing bolder, began whispering eerie promises and unsettling secrets. "Embrace us," they hissed, their voices chilling the children to their core. But the friends held firm, refusing to surrender to the darkness. Hours felt like an eternity as they battled to survive. Shadows lunged, attempting to engulf the children. They used flashlights and anything that emitted light to keep the darkness at bay. Fear gripped their hearts, but their determination to survive burned bright. As dawn broke, casting its warm rays upon the town, the shadows slowly retreated, reluctantly returning to their human counterparts. Jake and his friends let out a sigh of relief, their faces etched with exhaustion but filled with triumph. They had survived the horrors of Shadow Day. The following year, as Shadow Day approached once again, the townspeople prepared themselves. Armed with knowledge and newfound courage, they vowed to face the shadows with strength and unity. No longer would they cower in fear. And so, the legend of Shadow Day lived on in Shadowville, a chilling reminder of the night when shadows rebelled and unleashed their nefarious motives. But the townspeople stood resilient, ready to face the darkness and emerge victorious, forever changed by their harrowing encounter with the malevolent shadows.
Have you subscribed yet? Hurry before it's too late.
Join the League.
Literacy League. Amazing content.
Become a champion reader.
Who knew reading could be so much fun?